I got this ginormous, fluffy ball of yarn that literally looks like a cloud. I'm so excited about it. It was on sale, €6. This is 200 grams of yarn. Okay, and it's bigger than my head. So I'm super excited to see how much I can get out of this. I'm trying to make a really cropped sweater. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm really hoping though. I think it'll be so fun. And it'll feel like I'm wearing a cloud. And that's exactly what I wanted. I've been looking for a yarn like this for a while, and it's been kind of hard to find, especially to find one in my price range. So I was really excited to find this one and on sale. And actually, when I brought it up to the counter, I didn't even realize it was on sale. So the woman was like, "Oh, I don't know, like, was the discount already applied or whatever?" And I was like, "Discount? Thank you. I'll take whatever I can get." Even at the original price, it was $7.90. So it was a pretty cheap yarn to begin with. This seems to be some sort of like a campaign that they were running with these ginormous balls of yarn. Literally, look at that. I mean, that's just crazy. This is unfortunately not on 100% natural fiber, which is my preference, both for environmental reasons and also because I find like acrylic especially to really be uncomfortable on my hands. So, but in this case I took it, I just couldn't resist. So this is 67% acrylic, 14% wool, 10% polyester, and 9% mohair. It is by the brand Novita, and it's Unelma is the name of the yarn, and the color is white. This yarn is probably only available in Finland, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, but it's, I think, a lace weight, and it's a 200 gram ball, so if that's something that you're interested in. Now, I'm gonna be totally transparent. I have already started this sweater, but I'm going to have to restart it right now. So this is what I had, but I decided I didn't really like it, and also I realized I made some mathematical miscalculations in my design, but that's fine because I don't really love, I feel like it's gonna, when people are afraid of holes or like they get really uncomfortable, tryptophonia, or is it tryptophobia, something like that. I feel like this is gonna trigger that for someone, so I'm gonna try something different. But my vision is to make a sweater that I feel like I'm wearing a cloud. To start off, step one, I just made a chain that's gonna be my neckline. It fits over my head, which is perfect. Can't say that it did the first chain that I made. And for me, this is 90 stitches, and I'm just using a, I believe, G6 crochet hook. Yes, G6 crochet hook. So next, I'm experimenting with using double, triple crochets. I'm thinking, what if I did double, triple crochets for the entire sweater? And I'm trying a new kind of increase, which is a much more organized and technically correct kind of increase, where I'm trying to do increases along the, along the edges of the sleeves. So we'll see how that goes, and in those places I'm just going to chain 2 extra. I still have to figure out what the ratio is going to be between how much is front, how much is back, and then how much is sleeve. So I finished the first row, and I feel like now I can kind of show you guys the pattern that I'm doing. So like you can see here, this is where I'm doing the increases on the front and also on the back. There's these sort of holes, and that'll make sort of diagonal lines, just framing where the sleeves are. And I think that'll look more professional, hopefully. As you can see, this is all double, triple crocheted, and then just there's 27 double, triple crochets for the front panel section, then a chain 2, 18 double, triple crochets for the sleeves, and then another 27 for the back and another 18 for the other sleeve. I'm also doing, for just the first, I think, 3 rows, I'm doing an additional increase on the top of the sleeves. Why? I feel like it. I don't know. I just felt like because these are such long stitches, I need to do more than 8 increases per row. So now I'm doing 10. Hoping for the best. This is, again, not based on anything, so don't take this as gospel or anything. This is totally just random numbers. The 27 and 18, I just felt like that was probably a good ratio, but I really don't have anything to back that up, so if it turns out good, then follow it. If not, keep in mind that I'm not a professional. So this is literally the easiest sweater ever. You only need to know 1 stitch. And that's a double triple crochet. And I'll just show quickly how you do that. So you're going to yarn over 3 times, stick it in, pull through, then through 1, through 2, through 3, and through 4. I'll show it one more time. One more time. Easy peasy. Sorry, this is an extremely white screen right now, so I hope you can see. But so this is how far I've gotten in the sweater. I'm down to the end of the yoke, and I'm ready to make the armholes. As you can see, these lead right to the start of my armpit, which is where we're going to want to make the chain for the bottom of the armhole. Now this sweater design is actually so perfect because it has these stripes that directly lead to where I'm going to want to make my chain, which is going to make this a lot easier. So I've already completed one of the armholes. It looks like this. It's just a chain at the bottom, and I'll walk you through how I did it on the other side. I already tried it on once to make sure the armhole is the right length, which I would recommend doing to make sure that your chain is long enough on the bottom of your armpit. Alright, so right now I'm in just the stitch before the hole, which is, you know, from this line of increases. I did 9 rows with these increases, so I'm working on the 10th row right now. So you're going to do 1 double triple crochet, and you're going to put it into this hole, just 1. Then at this point I decided to chain 10, and that was just the first thing that I tried. I normally try to choose, like, you know, just a normal number like that, usually an even number, even though in this case it doesn't really matter. So here I have a chain of 10 now coming out of this double triple crochet, and then you're gonna go over to here. You can see how it looks. You're gonna go over to this hole on the other side of the sweater, which is the other end of the armhole basically. You're gonna loop over 3 times just like normal, and then you're gonna put it into this hole and put the double triple crochet in there. So that's pretty much all there is to it. That's the armhole. It really was that easy. This is pretty much how all armholes are going to be made in raglan, at least all of the ones that I've ever made. And it's pretty easy. Then once it comes to making the arms, you're just gonna, you know, make a crochet in each of these chains just like you would a starting chain and continue a loop like that. So it's super easy construction. So at this point, now that I've done this, I'm just gonna make the rest of the body, or at least until to cover my bust, because I don't even know if I have enough yarn to go longer than that. I'm hoping that I might be able to do a little bit of a band underneath, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to try to do the length of the bust, and then I'm going to cut the yarn and make the arms and get us, hopefully finish the arms if this all works out. Then I'll make the arms and then come back and do the rest of the body if I have yarn left. If not, it'll just be a super cropped sweater like that, and I'm totally fine with that too. We'll just have to see what this ends up being. But this is how it's looking at this point. You can see these armholes. And this is the end of these lines now. I'm not going to do any more increases, at least I'm not planning to. Alright, so this is how far we've gotten. It's just long enough now that it covers the bust. This is how the neckline is looking on. This is how it looks from the back. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with it. And so I am going to cut the yarn now, and I'm going to try to work on the sleeves. This is how much yarn I have left. It's kind of hard to tell because the ball's fallen apart. How much is actually here, so I don't really know either how much is here and how much I've used. I'm hoping that there'll be enough for me to do the sleeves and then come back and do a bit band here, because I would ideally like it to be long enough that it goes down to like the waistband of a pair of pants. This is a very high pair of pants, but you know, we'll see. If I have to leave it as this though, I still think that's quite cute, like over a dress or whatever, so. But I will say, super comfortable. Oh my gosh. And it's super warm, and it's not itchy. I was a little concerned about it being itchy because there is wool and mohair in here, but it's really nice. So as far as the yarn goes, 110% I would recommend that. But we'll just see how this goes for the rest of the arms. So as far as that goes, I'm just gonna make tubes with this same double triple crochets. Nothing fancy going on there. So the next time that I check in with you, it's probably going to be when the arm is almost done and I'm working on the band, because I want it to be sort of a puff sleeve and then cinch in around the wrist. So I'll have to decide how to do that. I'm not sure yet. Whatever stitch I end up using for this wrist part is what I would end up using for this part as well. But I just haven't decided about that. And I might also do a neckline at the very end, even though it's already quite a tight neckline, so. But I don't know, I feel like that would make it look a little bit more put together, so we'll see. So here's where we're at. And this is how much yarn that I have left. That whole giant big ball, this is what's left of it. This is nothing. So basically, I'm not gonna have a band here, obviously. And I'm not gonna leave these arms at this weird length. This is obviously very awkward. But you're gonna have to trust the process that when I add cuffs, it's going to make a balloon sleeve. I mean, God willing. God willing. Because right now, what is this? I mean, I hope that this is long enough that it'll be a good cuff length. I don't mind a long cuff. I think that that can kind of look elevated. That can look kind of elegant. Well, we'll see once it's done. The problem is, obviously I don't have any more of this yarn. And I'm not even in the same country as the yarn store that I got this from. I checked online, it's discontinued. And to be honest with you, all I need left are the cuffs. And I'm not about to buy a whole new ginormous ball that was enough to make all of this, just to make the little cuffs. So, I'm gonna have to use a different yarn. Now the question then became, should it be a matching color, even though I obviously don't have an exact match, or should it be like a contrasting color? And I considered, like, what if I did a light blue, because light blue is my favorite color and I have a lot of light blue in my wardrobe, so that's almost a neutral, but it's not quite a neutral. And I was imagining already what dresses I would wear this with, and I was already thinking of a pink one, so immediately no, light blue is not going to work. I do have a cream colored yarn, and I looked at it next to this, and it looks very tan next to this, but tan's still a neutral, so it's gonna have to be the cream. And so basically how I'm gonna do that, it's very simply just going to be another little tube, but I'm going to decrease this by half. So I'm going to take every 2 stitches together, and I'm probably just going to do a front loop, back loop, double crochet, because, or sorry, a front post, back post, double crochet, because I'm honestly too lazy to do the front loop only double crochet, which is correct, but then I have to go up and down, you know, and that's just so boring to me. I prefer to work in the round in a loop, so I'm going to do front post, back post. Sue me. Sue me. I hope that the cotton looks all right with this. Obviously they're going to be very contrasting materials, so that's honestly the bigger concern for me than the contrasting colors, but I guess we'll see how it turns out. I think it'll be fine. Alright, so to start, you're going to pull through on this 2 posts at once. In this case, I'm going to tie these 2 strings together. So now these 2 strings are tied together. That's nice and secure. Then you have this. I'm going to chain, because it's double crochets, I'm going to chain 3. 2, 3. Then we're going to continue in this direction. So then loop over once, and then pull through the back of these. There you go. And there's the first one. So the next one, yarn over once, then through the front of these 2, okay, again through the back, remember to keep taking them in segments of 2, then from the front again, from the back again, and you're just going to continue like that. Ta-da! It's done. Yeah, I feel like I achieved the cloud goal. It definitely is very cozy, and it does have that white fuzzy texture. And honestly, like, especially on camera, you really can't tell that these cuffs are too different, because the cuffs are going to have a different texture anyway. You know, you want them to be a bit more structured and tight, so I don't think it's that noticeable, and I think it looks really good. This is just one styling option, so I'll try to do a couple of different ways that you could wear this, because I feel like ultimately, because it is so short, this will work best as a layering piece over dresses, or I don't know, let's see what I come up with. But just the most basic way of wearing it, here's how it looks.